Welcome back to Atlanta and Company. I'm Christine Pilar. It's so great to be with you. Car accidents are all too common on Georgia roadways. Sometimes these car accidents are caused by drunk drivers. Here to give us advice on what to do if you've been a victim of a DUI driver is attorney Todd Henningsen with Henningsen Injury Attorneys. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you. It's summertime. People are out. They're enjoying their outdoor festivals, they're drinking, and we don't want them getting behind the wheel. But before we get into what to do if you are a victim of a drunk driver, tell us about your firm.
Well, we are a full-service personal injury firm who represents individuals who have been hurt throughout the state of Georgia. Things like car accidents, workers' compensation claims, wrongful death claims, slip and falls, and specifically what we're here talking about today, which are claims against DUI drivers.
Okay, so what advice can you give someone who unfortunately has been injured by a drunk driver?
Well, just like in your typical auto accident scenario, you want to make sure to call the police, call 911, have the emergency personnel come out and see if you've been injured and attend to any of your injuries at that point. But most importantly, what you really want to do is if you think that the other driver has been drinking, you want to alert the police officer to that fact so that they can conduct the proper field sobriety test to determine whether or not the driver is under the influence. I have a lot of times where clients say to me, hey, I know the other driver must have been taking something or something happened, but they never informed the police officer. And once you leave the scene of the accident, I mean, it's almost impossible to prove.
Sure. And how is a claim against a drunk driver different from any other auto accident? What's the difference there?
Well, first there's the emotional component. Justifiably, anybody who's been hurt by a drunk driver knows that they are frustrated and angry because it's something that shouldn't have happened. But from a legal standpoint, in a normal auto accident, you have something called compensatory damages, and that's to compensate you for your pain and suffering, your medical bills, your lost wages. So in a claim against a DUI driver, you also have a claim for punitive damages, and that is to punish the offending behavior. Okay, so what we do is we look and see if this is the first DUI this person has had. We do a full, thorough investigation. Or if it's the 10th DUI, we hope that's not the situation. But those two are now in play when you're looking at a DUI claim.
So if there's someone who's out there who's listening and who was injured by a drunk driver and they want you to represent them, what's the procedure? Do they go to your office and say, please help, and what do I have to pay up front? Walk us through that.
Sure. Well, there are no upfront fees at all. Just pick up the phone, give us a call. We work on what's called a contingency fee basis, meaning there is no fee unless and until we are successful on the claim. We offer a free initial consultation. Sure, you can come into the office if you want. You can call me up on the telephone, or we'll come meet you anywhere throughout the state of Georgia.
Okay. Any particular story or anything that sticks out in your head about an incident with a driver who's been drunk, they've hit somebody, and the victims come to see you? Anything stick out in particular?
Absolutely, sure. I've just represented two individuals who it was 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and a drunk driver came out of nowhere and struck them and injured them pretty grievously. And you wouldn't have expected that at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Thursday for this to happen, but it is happening all throughout the state, unfortunately. No matter how much we get the word out there, stop drinking and driving, people are still doing it.
It's crazy because I've noticed that what we really have over the years, I used to live in California here, we're cracking down, we're making, especially repeat offenders, we're trying to make it so difficult and for it to be such a deterrent with our laws, but people are still doing it.
Absolutely.
And so this person is getting the help that they need.
Absolutely.
And what made them think that the person had been drinking? Or was it just obvious, or was it more once the police came on the scene, he said, check?
Well,
because like you said, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I wouldn't normally think anything.
Sure. Well, this one was pretty obvious.
Okay.
He stepped out of the car and actually fell out of the car to the ground. So that was obvious. But there are some subtle, I mean, it may not be drinking. It could be somebody has taken a prescription medication. So if they're acting, in a car wreck situation, people can be acting maybe not quite normal because it's such a traumatizing event. But you need to kind of look and see, is there something else going on here? And we've had situations where people have been on prescription medication that they shouldn't be driving, and that too can lead to driving under the influence.
You make such a great point, because usually when it happens, you're so caught up in your own emotions that you're getting the information from the other person, but you're not really zoned in to them, as long as nobody's seriously injured and bleeding. If they're, if you're exchanging and they're coherent, and
right.
then all of a sudden you're saying, wait a minute, something seems different, make sure you make note of that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And inform the officer.
Right. And so why is it you think that your firm is different from others?
Well, we have a lot of experience handling claims against DUI drivers. And what we do is we do a full investigation to see whether or not this driver has committed any of these other acts. And when you come to us, we are a trial law firm. You are going to be, we prepare the case as if we're going to be going to trial. And in terms of, you'll always be speaking to an attorney, not a case manager, not a paralegal.
Good.
So.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you being here and giving us more information on your firm and what you can do to help.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay. And if you've been injured in a car accident by a drunk driver, Todd Henningsen wants to help you. For more information, give him a call at 404-835-4935 or visit henningsenlaw.com. And this segment was paid for by Henningsen Injury Attorneys.